Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and we are still without Marissa. She is dealing with a lot of currently some mental and health stuff right now. She's still dealing with her dad going through small cell lung cancer at this moment and all stuff. But you know what? We're just gonna keep trucking along and do the best that we can on this channel. At the time of recording, we are super close to 500 subscribers. We really, really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But tonight, it is going to be about. It is the month of September, and usually the month of September is usually evolving around No Mercy. And with No Mercy coming up, No Mercy had just passed at this point. I thought it would be awesome to go to another Throwback Thursday, and this is the best No Mercy matches that I can think of off the top of my head. Now, I have maybe 11 in total. I'm probably going to go in depth, like maybe on a few of them, but then there's going to be probably some that you guys might know about. And you know what, let's just get right on into this. So, over the years, WWE has put together some pretty fantastic cards for the No Mercy shows, and the wrestlers themselves have gone on to deliver inside the ring. There have been some amazing matches over the years at these shows that audiences will probably still talk about to this day, in helping making the show feel important and be one that people want to see every time. And over the years, No Mercy has been the culmination, or the feud starter or the feud ender for a few pay-per-view matches and all that stuff. So you could probably think about, off the top of my head, which we'll get into a little bit, Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys, which helped elevate them onto the main event scene or the tag team scene. The match between Roman Reigns and John Cena from 2017, which a lot of people did not want either guy. So it was like the John Cena syndrome for Roman Reigns at that time, because he was getting crammed down everybody's throats, and we all hated it. But it's like they got a good match out of it and all that stuff. Another one that comes off the top of my head is Triple H versus Jeff Hardy from '08. The Shawn Jericho match, the ladder match from '09, which we'll all get into in a little bit. But No Mercy as a whole, it's like, it was a pay-per-view that I wish got a lot more love, and NXT right now is reviving it at some point. I know the main event for NXT No Mercy is Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. It's it's a formerly contracted AEW wrestler who is a NXT champion facing a TNA contracted wrestler who's in the main event. That's crazy to think about. But it's like with NXT No Mercy. Hopefully, this brand or this relaunch of No Mercy will hopefully get NXT and the No Mercy name more recognition and more limelight. But let's get on with the cracking with the matches here. So the one that I'm going to be talking about first is going to be Roman Reigns versus John Cena for No Mercy 2017. So this match on paper, it's like, it's a real sign of how seriously WWE has taken this event over the years. And, Reigns and Cena had plenty of pressure to deliver when it comes to this one. And this is exactly what they did in a true powerhouse like encounter of the age. It's like a clash of like generations and stuff, like old school versus new school, and different ideologies too. They didn't really rush anything or anything, either. They told a really good story too, and they took their time slowly putting together this match and all that stuff. And there's a lot of near falls and all that stuff too, which really made the crowd bite on everything, and it actually showed because it's they went almost I think 25-30 minutes, which is crazy because seeing he's getting up there in age, but Roman Reigns was getting up there a little bit in age too, and now Reigns is this huge megastar right now that he is now, and seeing that he was kind of past his prime, but then it was almost getting to the end of his career, or sort of say. The one infamous moment that I know that you could probably all recall on Monday Night Raw, where Reigns is trying to remember his promo and all that stuff, and Cena just cuts him down like a fucking redwood, and just buries him within 5 minutes. It's like man, it's like Cena just literally just buried the head guy in 5 minutes less or something. So, but yeah, this match was a really good back and forth and all that stuff, and it actually had the help of creating a big fight feel for it. I mean, Roman Reigns obviously won. Roman wins lol, but it was actually a good win for him. To help sustain his momentum going into I guess his program or whatever that he had at the time. And plus this is kind of the end of John Cena as the full time or part time person and all that stuff. And and actually it was a really good match as well. I would really stick this one out if you haven't already seen it. So sticking with that 2017 No Mercy pay-per-view as well, we are going to be talking about The Bar versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, the rematch from SummerSlam 2017, where Ambrose and Rollins had won the Raw Tag Team titles from The Bar, who previously won them from the Hardys at, I think it was Extreme Rules, and I could be wrong, but it was Extreme Rules, and uh, this match was balls to the wall, super fun too. And plus, No Mercy 2017, yeah, it was not the best card on the world, but the two matches that I just talked about, which was Roman and Cena, and then The Bar and Dean Ambrose, it's if you have not watched these matches, I highly indulge you to go watch these matches. This match is the two best top fantastic tag teams of the modern era, and they stepped up to create a classic at this event in a match that was really was well remembered for the solely fact that Cesaro lost his front teeth in the match. That was a legitimate injury that actually added more excitement to the encounter, and and all that stuff. And I think it was at SummerSlam where Cesaro jumps over the guard or the hops over the guardrail, goes into the crowd, grabs a beach ball, and just tears it up and all that stuff, which was a really cool moment. Um, but yeah, this match was had everything. It had near falls after near falls, lots of pins being broken up and all that stuff, and of course the Cesaro getting his teeth pushed in and breaking and all that stuff, and it's he had to wear the mouth guard and all that stuff, and it was just a really good match on paper, and it's you could not have asked for a better match. I think if I'm a betting man sort of thing, I'm not really a betting man, but if I had to pick between the SummerSlam match or the No Mercy match, I would pick the No Mercy one only because of the drama and the intensity, because these two teams have been going back and forth on the mic and all that stuff, and it was really good promos between both teams and all that stuff, and plus the work that breakneck pace post injury with Cesaro, personally putting in an amazing performance as he seemed to be fueled by this situation. It was really hard hitting and it featured some brilliant double team moves that helped make this make you feel special. And it really did. And And plus, 2017 was like really, really good in the match quality and the pay per view quality somewhat. Um, I mean, like some of the best matches came out of like really like 2016, 2017. I could probably even argue maybe 2018 if you want to think about it. And plus, like 2017 was like the best I think Raw and SmackDown. I would say, in my opinion. Um, I mean that's preaching just to the choir there, but you can't go wrong with 2017, 2016 even that too. Um, but yeah, these two teams brought it, and I would really highly recommend watching this match as well. So now I'm gonna cast your minds back to 2008, almost to 28, 2008, No Mercy 2008 to be exact, and is for the WWE Championship, Triple H versus Jeff Hardy. Now, this is Jeff Hardy bursting onto the main event scene as exactly what fans want at this time. At this point in his career, at this point in his career, and he made most of the opportunity, proving that he belonged. He faced Triple H for the WWE Championship in competitive back and forth encounter, with the game eventually coming out on top by reversing a pinfall attempt into one of his own. It was nearly moment for Hardy as he threw everything he had at Triple H, to the point where fans truly thought he had the match won. Ultimately, it wasn't to be, but him coming that close to helped create some fantastic drama, and they're not wrong. Jeff Hardy at the time, he was on the upward swing. He was, go just he just wanted to be WWE champion so bad, and I think it was the next month. Or no, it was at Armageddon that year. He had finally won the big one and all that stuff, and it's actually kind of sad that at Armageddon 2008, he wins the WWE Championship, and then 1 month later he loses it by Matt Hardy betraying his brother because he was jealous of his brother or something like that. So it's just so stupid booking. Um, it's just, and plus fans wanted Jeff Hardy to be WWE champion for like maybe a few months, not even just 1 month, and people are like really pissed about that. And it's like it's like one of those like what if opportunities. Like if Jeff Hardy was like the main event person for like years to come, and it's just, I mean, if you want to see this match for yourself and know what we're talking about here, it's like just go watch it. It's really good, and it's one of the best, I think, like Jeff Hardy like WWE Championship matches of all time. If not probably the best one. I would say maybe Armageddon '08 is like the second one. Um, but this one has like a lots of drama, lots of near falls, and plus like Triple H wins. Lol. So, so now I'm gonna cast your minds way back to 2001, the near end of the Invasion storyline, and as a whole, it's towards the end of ECW and WCW as we know it in the Alliance, and I'm going to be talking about Rock versus Chris Jericho from No Mercy 2001, and this is where I think, if I could be wrong here, this is where either Jericho or The Rock was the world champion, but it was the WCW World Championship, which will later become the World Heavyweight Championship. Chris Jericho might have developed to have become a great wrestler later in his career, but at this stage he was moving around with pace while adding in some high flying moves that made him a perfect opponent for The Rock. And plus, the People Champion always worked well when he could work fast and with someone who will probably sell for him, just like himself. It actually helped create a engaging back and forth match with each man delivering on the big fight field. And I can't remember. I think this is where Jericho wins it. I'm thinking because no, Rock retains, and then later on that year at Vengeance, that's where it's the 4 men, 3 matches, 2 titles, 1 winner sort of tournament thing. Oh man, what a time to be alive in 2001. I was 3 in 2001. Wow, I know, old man here. Um, I mean, this match was like it's really picture perfect too, and plus it's 2 great workers, just bumping their asses off and all stuff. Plus, like this is before Rock becomes Hollywood Rock. Later, like within the next year, he leaves and all that stuff, and so it's like this is where like it starts to become more apparent where Rock's about to leave. Just Chris Jericho is gonna be still there till he leaves in like 05, 06. So yeah, the great pairing, and plus like these two on the mic were like untouchable sort of thing. Um, but it's Rock versus Chris Jericho, so like take it with it as you will. Also on that same card was Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle versus RVD. Now, triple threat matches can easily go wrong, but this one is a fantastic example of when it goes right. Something is going on at all times in this one, which creates an electric atmosphere and ensures that there is no hole or no lulls in this one, as they did a great job of piecing it together, of having someone on hand to break up pinfalls to outside interference from members of the McMahon family. This match had a little bit of something for every type of fan. And plus, this is where, Steve Austin had just turned heel and joined the alliance. Kurt Angle was also like the double agent thing and all crap. And plus, the most standout person in the alliance was RVD, Mr. Monday Night himself. And plus, these 3 were like really great together. It was like a recipe made for greatness. Um, and plus, Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, and Robert D, they're always on the top of their game anyway. And plus, this is before, Austin is going to be leaving kind of soon, sort of thing. He would have like 3 more years within the company and all that stuff. Angle, he wasn't going anywhere, and RVD wasn't going anywhere. So, I think it was at SummerSlam. It was Austin versus Kurt Angle, which ended in DQ, which boo. And then I think they were gonna have the rematch here, but then RVD was just thrown into the mix and all that stuff, which is like, all right, Rob, just give us what you can do, and they created a good fucking match. um, and plus, the two matches are from the exact same card, which is actually kind of funny. Um, I think they were like right after each other too, so that was kind of like interesting to witness there. Um, but yeah, 01, it's like towards the end of it is the end of the Attitude Era, almost going into the Ruthless Aggression Era, and it actually kind of shows because it's like this is like the top dogs at the time, and I mean it was a really good match from all 3 members of that match. So if you may remember, when me and Marissa had done the best or the year in review for 2016 for wrestling, we had talked about No Mercy 2016, and the opening match was Cena versus AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship, and what an opening match that was. The fact that that match was opening the show was a surprise, but it led to a great atmosphere being set for the rest of the night. All 3 men, they were all offering like completely different styles, no pun intended, but that didn't stop them from connecting and having a great chemistry with inside the ring. Each of them had a moment to shine in this one, while also having a lot of interactions with all 3 of them at the exact same time, which is always fun to see in triple threat matches. And plus, fans were on the edge of their seat from start to finish, which led to a great bout. And this match in particular, I would also say like this one's like kind of up there for like triple threat matches. And plus like when we were talking about Austin Angle and RVD from 2001 and all that stuff, it's like it was like 15 years later, and then it was just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna put the WWE Championship match, the opening match, and I think the main event was it like Randy and Kane or something. I can't remember the pay per view. It's been that long since I've watched it. But be honest, here. And plus, AJ Cena, they were having their feud at the time, and then it also transitioned into AJ versus Dean, going into to the fall, and then going to TLC and all that stuff. Um, and plus, all three men were like really freaking good at this time too. Um, and it also helped that all three men were really good workers and could work their asses off. So, I actually know why it was like it's a good place in my heart and all that stuff because I actually watched this live and it was actually a really cool moment for me because it was like I was actually like a huge, Dean Ambrose fan, John Cena fan, and AJ Styles fan. So it's like, I didn't know really who to cheer for at that point. And I mean, the end result was like, I was like, okay, and plus like I was all three of their fans, so it actually worked out for me. All right, two more No Mercy matches to go, and then I will give my final thoughts on each of them. All right, to 1999 we go. This is the very first ever No Mercy pay per view, the original No Mercy pay per view. And the match that I'm going to be talking about is the one of the best ladder matches. I guess the second or first or second depends on who you talk to about this. Is Edge and Christian versus the New Brood, also known as the Hardys. No Mercy ladder match, and this is the Terry Invitational Tournament or TIT, whatever you want to call it. Thank you, Jerry Lawler. This match was freaking crazy. The counter took place at the original Mercy, like I said, and the fact that it still holds up as one of the best to have happened at that event showcases how good it was. Well, these four men went on to have some amazing matches, and they're still talked about highly to this day. This was the first tag team ladder match and one that was just as strong. They were very young wrestlers out to steal the show and ensure that everyone would be talking about them, which they still are today. Which is exactly what they were able to achieve here. There were some big bumps and clever spots with a red hot crowd eating it all up. And plus, it was right. 99 was a really hot year for tag team wrestling somewhat at some point. Plus, this is the peak of the Attitude Era as well. And so you have have Austin on top, Rock on top, Mankind, Paul White. You have Edge and Christian doing their shtick. They have the Hardys, they have the Dudleys, and all that stuff. And then goes into next year with all three teams going into the TLC match, the Triangle TLC match later that year in 2000, and it's like these four men put on a spectacle for people to talk about with their friends the next day, being like, "Oh my God, you saw this like huge freaking bump from like Matt Hardy and also." And the one of the spots that's like in my mind still to this day is the um, ladder seesaw spot that Jeff hits on Christian and Matt, and if they did not move their head, it just reminded me of the Joey Mercury spot from Armageddon '07, where he just gets his shit like busted open and all that stuff, and it's very very gnarly. And I was just like, oh my God, please don't hurt him, please don't hit him, please don't hit him. I was like, luckily they moved out of the way, and all that stuff. But it's like what was the contingency plan if that ever happened? Um, but this match is still talked about to this day. I would say it's the second best ladder match, but it's like the very first ladder match in tag team wrestling history. But now I'm going to go into the meat and potatoes, the very, very, very best No Mercy match of all time. It involves Mr. Shawn Michaels himself and Chris Jericho from No Mercy 2008. Now, if you recall that when me and Marissa talked about the Shawn Michaels Chris Jericho rivalry a few months ago, go check that out if you haven't already. This was the peak rivalry of that year, and it kind of helped um, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho's careers at that point too. And it was like one of the greatest in WWE's history, and their encounter at No Mercy was a true highlight of that card. And plus, it was the only right man event of that time, and plus, these two men were competing for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a ladder match, which both are known for, and they really brought the right level of heat to push how much they hated each other in the storyline as well, while the in-ring work was sublime. And plus, Michaels and Jericho were two veterans of the industry, therefore, it was no surprise to see them put in some incredibly unique spots that made this match a huge special big fight feel. And plus, it's like the true animosity that they had for each other at that time too, kind of like helped elevate their match and their rivalry as well. And plus, that year, was the year of Jericho heat, and '08 was it was not like the best time for WWE, I guess at that point, but the saving grace at that time was Chris Jericho. And what I mean by that is Jericho was big he was the big heel that everybody loved to hate. It just reminds me of MJF now, and his success and all that stuff. And it's like I wonder what he had gotten from Jericho and all that stuff, because it's Jericho, he's like the veteran now, whereas he's passing down the knowledge to the up and comers and all that stuff too. Um, and plus Michaels is he was still at the top of his game and all that stuff. This is before he wrestles the Undertaker, and then and all that stuff, and he's just super just obsessed with trying to beat the Undertaker and all that stuff. So it's such a good match too. I would highly recommend go watching that match as well. Um, so now on to my final thoughts. So some of my final thoughts on some of these matches are I didn't go too deep into depth on a lot of them because it's I can't do the matches justice here. I can't do a blow by blow for anything, but it's go watch these matches. They are super super good, and some of these matches are on the exact same pay per view as the one that I just talked about too. The two from 2017, the two from 2001, the Jericho and Shawn Michaels match was from '08. Even the Triple H and Jeff Hardy match was from 2008 as well. So it's so cool to see that some of these No Mercy pay per views are having the best matches on the card, even though it could be the shittiest card of them all. But there's always that one or two, maybe three matches that are always the shining light in the world of darkness for some of these cards. And it's such a good thing to be a wrestling fan sometimes, because you always take something out of wrestling, and like either if you're you're a fan of this one person, or you're a fan of a tag team or something like that. Just love wrestling for wrestling. But with the No Mercy thing, it's such a good pay per view. It's such a cool pay per view name. I wish they would bring it back to the main roster, but NXT's doing their own thing right now. So let's see what NXT brings to the table, and yeah, I mean, like power off to NXT and Shawn Michaels. So, my friends, that is about done. Wrapping it up with this another Throwback Thursday in the books, done and dusted. Thank you very, very much for listening and or watching this episode tonight. Please, please, please make sure to follow us on all social medias in the link tree description down below. We have an Instagram page, a Facebook page, a Twitter page, a Reddit page. You can follow us on all our individual Snapchats. I have my own gaming YouTube channel. I'm hoping to get to 1,500 by the end of this year. If not, there's always next year. That's awesome. And then also the link tree, there is a GoFundMe page for Marissa's dad, Rick Andrews, who is currently suffering or going through the small cell lung cancer thing, like I just said at the top of the bumper here. He's a wonderful human being. I've got to meet him personally a few months ago when I got to go see Marissa for her birthday in June, and it's like even if it's $5, it's $5 going to a great cause, going towards a great man, so he could live his life and he could not worry about trying to like struggle for anything. It will also help pay for bills, electricity, food, what have you, and it's going towards a great man. And I wish him the best of luck. And I hope, Marissa, if you're watching this or hearing this, hopefully you'll get to the goal at the end of the year. Hopefully, I'm praying for you. Hopefully he'll make it to Christmas. I hope so. But with that being said, thank you very very much for watching. And now I gotta do the song of the night. So for my song of the night tonight is going to be from a band that me and Marissa have, a deep connection with, and they are currently back together again. Finally, after all these years, the brothers have reunited. It is Oasis, and with that, a huge announcement that we had heard a few days ago. They had, just gotten back together and all that stuff, which is freaking awesome. 2024 is saved for Marissa once again. So I'm going to be doing a song called Live Forever. I don't know if there's a music video for it or not, but Marissa will probably fact check me on that. But yes, that is going to be my song of the night. And that is it. Yes, I will see you guys next Thursday for another I'm already trying to give away the next week's fucking episode already. Man, it is actually very, very tiresome today. Please bear with me. So, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you guys next Thursday for another episode of Reckless Paradise Podcast. Good night. Love ya. Stay safe. Peace!